Hey everyone, I'm here with Danny. He is the owner of California Custom Pools. Just a few months ago, rather actually about a year ago when they started working with us, they were struggling to get leads and wanted a better, more reliable way to get leads. And so that they came to us looking for some help with Google Ads and SEO. Now they're closing, 5 to 10 jobs per month. They just hit their $2.5 million mark. So looking forward to diving in here and hearing what Danny has to say. Hey Danny, thanks so much for joining. How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Not bad. Well, let's go ahead and get into it here. So this is Danny. Danny is a custom pool builder out of Southern California. Danny, why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about what your business is and the kind of customers that you serve and what you do for them?
I think you pretty much nailed it in one. We are a custom pool builder. So we design and build custom pools as per requests of customers. It's we're more of a design service. Obviously we do the construction aspect, but a lot of it's the design and the kind of visual stuff that's what separates us from most others.
So tell me a little bit about what was your business like before you started working with us? How are you getting your leads? What was your kind of revenue level?
Yeah, we were getting most of our leads via Angie or paid lead generating services. When we started with you guys, the difference was night and day. The quality, mainly the quality of the leads. Anything that's coming via an SEO generated, they've come to us directly, right? So they haven't gone to every Tom, Dick, and Harry looking for other bids and whatever else. The main thing with you guys is the quality of the leads a lot higher.
That's awesome. Yeah, one of the big things that we did to help improve that was focusing on search. Because if you think about, when somebody has a need, a problem, they go to Google and they search for someone to solve that problem. So just inherently you get a higher quality lead, somebody who's, more ready to buy. Yeah. What were some of the things that you tried before moving to Google with us?
Well, we still do. We're still buying leads from all the same sources that we used prior to being involved with you guys. We do a lot of kind of door canvassing. We do door hangers. We do magazine articles. Yours, the stuff that we get via you is far more bang for the buck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love what you said. Like you mentioned, you're still doing a lot of the same things you did before, not because, they were bad and you shouldn't do them anymore. You should continue to do them. Right. But, you just added
of course.
You've added additional.
Yeah, marketing's repetition, right? The more times a homeowner or a consumer of any description sees your name, sees your logo, whatever, then the more likely they are to use you. If they find a door hanger on the door or they see a yard sign and then they Google us and then the work that you've done with the first search on Google, it all ties in together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a big misconception is that there's just like one silver bullet that is going to solve all of your problems, but they all work together.
Yeah.
And build on top of each other.
Of course, and it's the thing with me, we talked about it before. I'm a sales and marketing person who's learned how to build a swimming pool. So I'm probably kind of different to most pool contractors. I understand where the money needs to be spent, and I know that it's not a overnight process, especially with SEO. It takes time. You've got to invest. And it's when times are harder financially and, in the economic downturn or whatever, that is when you need to spend money on marketing. Without leads, what have you got? Nothing.
Yeah. That's a great point. That's really hard to hold true in the moment. So after you started working with us, what was your first impression about the things that we were doing versus like what you might have seen from other agencies or other past experiences as you've had with other marketing groups?
What I like about you guys is the personal touch. It's not something I know a great deal. I know enough to understand how when we're having a conversation, I know what you're doing kind of thing, but I don't know enough about the dark arts of what you actually do in order to understand it. And I just like how you simplify it and you can explain it in layman's terms to me, so I know the money that we're spending is worthwhile, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I appreciate that. So thank you. I think that's one of the most important things is communication. Obviously, in all relationships, communication is number one, but especially in a business context, because, we could be seeing one thing and you see it differently. And, we need to have a conversation about that. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't be having this conversation and you wouldn't continue to work with us if we couldn't communicate and show you the value.
Well, 2.5 million in 12 months it's good cost of value to me.
For sure. Yeah. I think you're that's a good transition here. So 2.5 million plus in the last 12 months. And I was just looking at, what you've done since the beginning of the year, just looking at 2025, and you're trending at about 1.5 million plus. So on track to hit 3 million more just from the business that we're bringing to you.
It'll be more. It will be more than that. I know it will. Obviously, the the first quarter or the first half of this year, that's the slow period for pools. We're coming into the busy period now, so you can expect a higher increase there.
Yeah. So other than obviously the money and, the revenue, how has this changed your business from a day to day? Like what things have you done differently? What things have you had to change? What are some like the new benefits of this change?
I mean,
or results rather.
Yeah, I mean, it's brand awareness, isn't it, mainly? Obviously, the money, as you say, is nice, but in order to get the revenue, or even get the inquiry initially, it's brand awareness. So what you guys are doing, the blogs that you do every week, that kind of thing, it just pads everything out. It just makes it a little more professional, right? Yeah, the first thing everybody ever comments on is the website and how good the SEO is and, how slick it all looks.
Yeah, one of the big things too, just for those who end up listening to this later, it's not just SEO. The Google has changed in a way where you have to be present in the ads, Google Maps, and organic. And a big part of the reason why, Danny, you've been so successful is you're dominating all four of those areas, all four sections of Google now. You get the repetition, like you were saying. Didn't you have to end up hiring a few extra salespeople after in the last year since working with us, right?
Yeah, it was me when we first started working together. It was just me. That was it. And now there's me plus 7.
Wow.
Yeah. And
obviously.
And Kristen, obviously, as well.
That's a big, yeah. So it sounds like you not only as just you as a business owner, but your business has matured significantly just over the last year. From
100%
things that we've done, and you independently as well.
I mean, we're on track to do 20 million in revenue this year.
That's amazing.
Which, from a standing start 2 years ago, not bad.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love hearing stories like that. So let me ask you this. So if another business owner was kind of on the fence about, working with us or investing in, Google ads or SEO, what would you tell them?
I mean, you've got to invest in your marketing, right? And most business owners, you've got your own specialist set of skills, right? If you are a business owner doing whatever you're doing, that is your skill set. If you're making pottery or you're fixing cars or whatever it might be, like, you don't know enough about the rest of the marketing to do it yourself. Like, if you broke your leg, you wouldn't try and fix it yourself, would you? Go and find somebody who knows how to fix your leg. So, and that's the main thing for me. Like, know what you don't know and find somebody who does know how to fix it for you. And in respect to marketing expenses, you can't spend enough. In reality, as long as it's returning the amount of leads that you need for what you're spending, spend as much as you can. Because again, without leads, what have you got? If you've got nobody coming through your front door, who are you going to sell to? Whether you're selling chocolate cakes or cars, like you've got to get customers come through the door. That is the only way to sell something, is to have a consumer in front of you.
Yeah, I think something you mentioned, just want to call out, is you clearly view what you are spending with us as an investment, because it's not an expense, it's an investment. You are making a clear, identifiable return on every dollar that you put into marketing, every dollar that you pay us. You're making a return on that, which, therefore it's an investment. And
of course, and it is investments, because it doesn't happen overnight, right? We've done 12 months, and I know it's starting to snowball now, but the first few months it was just, you get what you get, and you've got to accept that, because the type of marketing that you guys do, it's not like you can go and get a lead straight up. I mean, you do occasionally, but it's more repetition, long term, and letting Google know where you are. And
so would you recommend us to others in your industry and in other home services industries?
Not in my industry. I don't. Maybe in different parts of the country, but certainly,
different markets.
I mean, joking apart, I'd highly recommend you guys to anybody.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, thanks so much, Danny. It was good getting to chat with you today. Have a great rest of your day.
And you take care.